It is Studs back with another prediction video. Not gonna lie, we've been getting cooked lately, but feel free to use the chapters below to see the fight prediction that you want to see. Santi, kick us right off.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
We are kicking off with Alexander the Great Ape. Can you imagine that nickname? Against Bill Senor Perfecto Algeo. Both horrible goddamn nicknames. I think this fight is going to be a tale of who has the better weight cut, because Alex Hernandez was a 155er, a very big 155er, and now he went down to 145, did not look good against Billy Q, and it depends on how his weight cut is going to look. I think his weight cut's going to look not as great, and Bill Algeo is going to be able to get that third round TKO. I do see the Great Ape gassing out in the first two, exactly how he did against Billy Quarantillo. And if you look at Bill Algeo, he's like the C-Tech version of Billy Quarantillo. So I got Bill Algeo in the fight.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think Algeo is a better fighter, and that Billy Q fight really turned me off. Alexander is great. I mean, I think your analysis is pretty spot on. Give me Algeo. I mean, was it minus 150?
Minus 145 on the betting odds. This fight is a lot closer, though. Alex Hernandez can definitely get the wrestling down and make this a decision win for him, but it all depends on how that weight cut is going to look. He is such a big... For 5'9", he can barely make 145. And we got the Crimson Chin Drew Dober versus Ricky Glenn. Ricky Glenn is a very seasoned veteran. He has over 35 fights. So does Drew Dober. Drew Dober just got knocked out by Matt Frivola. I will think the chin is going to hold up in this one. Drew Dober, I think, is going to back down Ricky Glenn slowly but surely and get the either round 2 or round 3 finish, in my opinion. Although Ricky Glenn is a very seasoned veteran, he just got knocked out by Chris Giagos. So give me Drew Dober in the fight and give me that handsome man, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Drew Dober, I just see him stalking for like 3 rounds, and especially with that big chin of his, I think that he just does not give this man rest. And I think he's the overall better fighter. I think he can knock him out. Round 2, round 3, whatever you want. Give me him by TKO.
And then we got Alex Morono versus Joaquin Buckley. I honestly don't see a world where Buckley kind of wins this, in my opinion. I think Alex Morono can keep this volume up on him and actually overwhelm Buckley to either a finish or a decision. I just don't think that Buckley throws a lot of volume, but he misses a lot of shots. And I think Morono's jab with the 1-2, I'm kind of seeing a version of Alex Morono, Matthew Semmelsberger, while Morono kept that jab and honestly just left his nose reckless. I'm going Alex Morono, even though he is the slight underdog.
Again, we got to stop making the same picks, but yeah, I don't think Buckley keeps up. I mean, we're talking about someone who just ended his losing streak to Andre Fiala, and who beat Tim Means. I know we're not doing MMA math, but I'm just saying, I think Morono now is a better fighter. I think Buckley I think he swings for the fence and he misses 90% of them. Yeah, you're going to get 10% where he knocks the guy out and he looks amazing, but this is not one of those fights. I think it's going to be just almost like a Drew Dober, but without the power, to be honest.
See the issues that Buckley does have against these boxers that, you know, they make him pay for these overswings. You got Imavov, who, I mean, he tore him apart. If Imavov really wanted to, he could have finished that fight. And Chris Curtis, who's a wonderful boxer. I think Alex Morono is to the level of those guys when it comes to terms of boxing, and I think he does capitalize on the overswings and, you know, the big commitments that Buckley does give. Both of us going with Alex Morono. I honestly thought I was gonna be the only person on with that pick. I thought you were gonna pick Buckley, but you know, great minds think alike. And we got Philly boy Joe Pyfer. We love a Philly boy coming from Jersey ourselves, against Abdul Razak Alhassan. This fight in the first round is very scary for anyone picking Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer does leave, you know, a little bit extension to his chin. Abdul can catch it, but I just think the striking of Joe Pyfer, the way he closes in on the inside, given how big he is, I do think Joe Pyfer does get the finish here. But if I pick Joe Pyfer in a parlay, I am shitting my pants no matter what. Even if he's a minus 440, he gets so close in inside boxing with a guy like Abdul. This fight could end quick and we could see an underdog win. But that being said, I think Joe Pyfer's defense is good enough to keep him safe, and he will get a finish.
It's hard to not go with the Philly boy, so Pyfer is always going to be my pick. And like you said, that first round is going to be fireworks. I mean, the biggest thing I would say for this fight is if you're going to take any type of play, do the under 2.5. I think that hits. I think someone gets knocked out. I think there's going to be some type of where maybe Pyfer gets knocked early on and then he just comes back and storms. I mean, like, again, this is a very exciting fight. One of the better fights on this card, but it's hard to go against someone that is riding, a 4-win streak. And the last loss they had was on a contender series off what? It was the slam, right? Yeah, so give me the Philly boy.
Both of us going with Joe Pyfer. That was very expected given, us being so close to Philly. And we have the main event, Grant Dawson versus Bobby Green. Bobby King Green, my apologies. Grant Dawson's too good, man. I'm going to say it. This guy is a top 5 lightweight in the next year. The way he handled Ismagulov, who had a fight against Gulran Kutaladze. Yeah, it didn't look that good against Arman Saryukin, but not a lot of people look that good against Arman. Grant Dawson, just his wrestling is so top heavy. Yeah, Bobby Green might get, might defend 9 takedowns, might defend 11, blah, blah, blah. But if Grant Dawson just gets 2, you can see a 9-minute control time fight where this guy is just going to keep putting it on Bobby Green. Bobby Green's striking is super unorthodox. I don't know how Grant Dawson is going to deal with that. Maybe he's going to move his head off the center line and then shoot. But I'm going with Grant Dawson, and I'm going to go with a 4th round TKO. I think he wears down on Bobby the first 3 rounds. And even if he gets 1 of 11 takedowns, that 1 takedown is going to be so much for Bobby, in my opinion, that it's going to wear him out in the later rounds, and Grant Dawson does get a finish and shows everybody how good he is, because this guy is not being talked out whatsoever. I was expecting someone to talk about him in the Ismagulov fight, but no one is. It was just a wonderful performance, and people moved on with their day. Grant Dawson is a fucking problem.
Might be the first card that we agree on every single pick. I mean, looking at it, Bobby Green beat a washed Tony, right? And you want to talk about, I don't know why, I saw someone was talking about how good his ground game was because he submitted Tony Ferguson. And if you think that's true, you need to stop watching. Grant is better. And exactly what you said, when he shoots, he is going to make sure that he keeps you down. And that's why my play would be the over 3.5. I think that he wears and he tears, right? He might get a 5th round stoppage. Sure, why not? But I think what happens is that takedown, even if, like you said, he gets 1 of them, it is going to wear on him so much that he's going to then rely on his overhand right or his right hook that he is famously crediting, and then he's going to get taken down again because he overshoots it. So there's a reason why it's minus 400, minus 500 odds on Grant Dawson. So give me him. Don't look back.
Grant Dawson gets 3.7 takedowns, like, on average a fight. And this is his first ever main event. This is his first ever 25-minute fight in his career. Yes, that does tail that maybe he does gas out, but the way he's looking and the pace that he was putting on Usmagulov, I don't see that happening. I see a Grant Dawson masterclass. Am I sucking Grant Dawson a little bit too much? I feel like I am, man. Just a tiny bit. Let's just go to the prelims. Andy, you have a lock for this card in the prelims?
I know he's a favorite. Kutalaba. I'm not taking him. I am not taking him. I think Kutalaba I think he's shit. I don't like him before the fight. I don't like him during the fight. I don't like him after the fight. This dude will get knocked out and then say, oh, this happened. I can't stand the guy. So give me, was it Philip Leans? Is that the guy's name? Give me him. He's riding high. Yeah, he's fought scrubs, but I mean, look, man, we're taking momentum here. We're not looking for, necessarily talent. So we're going to go with momentum. Let's ride leans and let's get Kutalaba out the UFC.
I'm not too happy with that because that was going to be my guy. I was planning on picking on the PFL. He did win the PFL $1 million. Like, this guy is actually decent. The pressure that he does put on guys, I don't think Ion can do it. But if that's the case, I'm going to move on. I'm going with Diana Belbito over Karolina Kowalkiewicz. In my opinion, I think 37 is too old of an age. Yes, Carolina can get the volume on Deanna and make it a troubling fight, but I just think the power difference is going to sway the judges more on Belbita's favor. Is this sort of me picking Belbita because she is so fine? No. I'm going with my heart, not my dick. I think Belbita does outstrike her. Maybe not to some people's eyes, but I think the judges will see Belbita landed the harder shots and win a decision due to that. I mean, we see that a lot with these judges. They don't really rate volume. They rate power. They rate the immediate damage instead of the accumulative. And I think Deanna does get a decision win, in my opinion. I'm going with that as my lock. I wanted to go Felipe Lins, but some motherfucker wanted to take it. I'm never letting you pick ever again first. But, hey, overall, this card is not the greatest in the world. Yeah, there is some fun fights. You might get, a showstopper in Alex Morono, Joaquin Buckley, or Joe Pyfer. But overall, I'm giving this card like a 5 out of 10. This card isn't really setting up anyone to be a next big thing other than Grant Dawson. But Bobby Green can end that very quickly.
We gotta get it right, and this is the card to do so. So if you've been watching, thank you guys for watching till the end. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment what you guys want to see. If you guys want to see more breakdowns like this, let us know. But it's been Studs.